people on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.
Hello, and welcome to They Think It's All Over. Now, after a full inquiry into last week's programme, we can confirm that yet again Gary Lineker's team were cheating. So we have decided to strip him of last week's show and award it to David Gower's team. Now, it's not the sort of behaviour we expect, Gary, from someone who appears in a kids' TV show.
Gary here. The best way to win a free kick on the edge of the box is to be a great big cheat, like I am.
With David and Jonathan is a sports presenter who in 1995 hosted a 20-hour football show. But then, eventually, Man United got the equaliser. Gabby Yorath. With Gary and Rory is a comedian and Crystal Palace fan who queues up for the Selhurst Park turnstiles every week. Her ambition is to get through them and actually see a game. Joe Brand. We start the ball rolling with our excuses round. Now, David, Jonathan and Gabby, it's the boy racer himself for you, Jenson Button, seen here on the test drive that convinced Williams to sign him. Now, when he arrived in Melbourne for his Formula 1 debut, all the other drivers had a drive around the circuit to familiarise themselves with it. But Jenson was driven round the Grand Prix course in a taxi. David's team, why?
He, you know, he's never going to do, I don't think, as well as people hope. Because whenever they go to the pit stop, the guys come out and they can change the tyres and they refit everything in about 8 seconds. But they have to wait for him to come back because he always has to have a wee and get a bag of crisps. And then before he gets in the car, his mum spits on the hanky and wipes his visor and makes sure he's tucked in and makes him promise to be home before 9.
You mentioned crisps then, Gary got excited, didn't you, Gary?
Is that, do you actually get erect when people talk about crisps? No. Is it just a rumour?
Was that erect?
Gary's crisp advert came number 9 in the top 100 of adverts.
Wow, how about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes. And I just say very briefly what I particularly liked was the director saying how intelligent you were because you instinctively knew how to hold the crisp properly.
You see, all those years at Spurs weren't wasted.
We take the piss out of Gary a lot, but he can hold a crisp.
He was comparing him to the chimps from the PG Tips advert.
You know, I think Jonathan was right.
David's going to talk. It's got to be funny now.
It doesn't have to be. I thought you were right. No, you were right. The way it's a...
He's the master. He is the master. Every time.
No, it's along the lines that Frank Williams...
What was the setup?
We all love you. Come on.
No, it's in the intercom on the way around the races. Frank Williams having a problem with him saying, "Are we nearly there yet?" You know, he's whinging about, "I want to drive the red car. Why does Michael Schumacher always get the red car?" And stuff like that.
That's so unfair. I apologise.
You know, it's a touching vote of sympathy for one.
You've heard claps like that before, surely. You trudge back to the pavilion.
Isn't it nice to see a working class boy doing well in Formula 1? Jenson Button. How posh a name is that? Jenson Button. It's like one of your kids would be called Jenson Button. It's like, where they find from? The Mr. Men. Mr. Button from the Mr. Men driving in Formula 1.
Just run us through. What are
I've had enough of it.
What are your children called? Just talk us through your 3.
Yes! 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 Exactly!
There's nothing wrong with calling your kids Tipsy, Dipsy and La La. Do you think Jenson's missing out on the fun to be had, on the richer aspects of Formula 1 racing due to his youth? Because he gets to the end of the race and, you know, he finishes, he looks over there and there's Eddie Irving surrounded by the world's top models. And what would he say? Go, "Girls, ugh."
Yeah.
Eddie Irvine did a poll recently, well, a lot of people did it, but he did it, top 10 women of all time or something, and his own girlfriend only came 3rd.
So he only put her in 3rd place?
Yeah.
God, if my girlfriend comes 2nd, she's bloody happy. And I'm married.
Nick, I've heard if your girlfriend comes at all, she counts herself in.
She will.
Normally, you're in the taxi home by the time she's finishing off.
How'd you get on?
I'll call you back. I'm sitting on the washing machine. It was something to do with insurance. I think either he must have his street driving licence. I don't think they could get insurance for him.
3 points, well done.
Very good.
And here is Jenson Button himself to explain.
I can drive a Formula 1 car, but I can't rent a car due to my age, being only 20. So we got picked up from the airport by a taxi who asked if we would like to go around the Melbourne circuit. So we did. We got completely lost and didn't learn anything except I lost a lot of sleep.
So Jenson is old enough to drive in a Grand Prix but too young to rent a car. He's the youngest driver in Formula 1. In fact, he's so young he was at school with Bernie Ecclestone's wife. Ex-Beatle George Harrison is a big motor racing fan, but embarrassingly, Jenson didn't recognise him when they met after the Melbourne race. You'd have thought the kitchen devil sticking out of his chest would have been a giveaway. Joe, Rory and Mr Cheaty, it's Paolo Di Canio and that goal against Wimbledon.
Trevor Sinclair with a look up and he's looking for Di Canio. Oh, an amazing goal by the Italian. What a strike.
Now, Paolo Di Canio was recently fined £5,000 for making this gesture during West Ham's draw with Aston Villa in January. But according to his manager, Harry Redknapp, the gesture was entirely innocent. So what, Gary Sneem, did it mean?
I think he's giving a piggyback ride to an invisible nun. Something like that. It's an Italian thing.
I didn't actually get into that game because I couldn't get through the turnstile.
Are they different from... Are these turnstiles different from the normal turnstiles?
Yeah, you have to pay extra.
You have to pay extra, but they still wouldn't queue.
Is he doing an impression of Jeremy Beadle? The Jeremy Beadle fan club here.
I think Rory looks a bit like Jeremy Beadle. A little bit.
You think Gary looks like a twat from Leicester?
I don't think you've ever seen a twat, have you, Rory?
Not since I left your dressing room 25 minutes ago.
It's going to be a long night again.
Was it just a completely innocent gesture? He was not actually sticking his finger up at someone, he's just scratching his back or his arse or something.
That's right, I'll give you 3 points for that, yeah? Yes, the answer is that Di Canio was scratching his back. At least that was a theory put forward by Harry Redknapp. As well as playing for West Ham, Di Canio owns a clothes shop which supplies Luca Vialli's wardrobe. Gianfranco Zola gets his clothes from Baby Gap. A recent survey claimed that West Ham supporters are the most stylish in the land. Their toe caps are polished and all their tattoos are spelt correctly. And at the end of that round, David's team have 3 points and Gary's team have 3 points. We move things along now with our sporting bluff round, where the sides try to work out who on the other team is speaking the truth and who speaks with forked tongue. Joe, Rory and Cheat Boy, it's boxing for you. In the week that Lennox Lewis cemented his reputation as the world's #1 boxer, we look at how Mike Tyson cemented his reputation as the world's #1 shopper. David's team, what have you got to say? Gabby.
While shopping in London, Mike Tyson bought a traditional red telephone box.
While shopping in London, Mike Tyson bought a Formula 1 car.
While shopping in London, Mike Tyson bought a Charlie Chaplin hat.
So, did Tyson buy a red phone box, a Formula 1 car or a Charlie Chaplin hat? Gary's team.
Wasn't me who cheated last week.
If you lie, your ears will grow.
You're a cheat.
Did he buy a phone box because he needed a venue to gather together all the women who have some respect left for the jolly old rapist? I would get in that phone box if I could. Honestly, I can't, because I can't get through any enclosed spaces because I'm so fat.
I'm fat as well. Obviously not as fat as you. Well, Gary thinks he's in the body zone in Millennium Dome. Mike Tyson did, while he was here, it's not mentioned on your list, but he did buy a watch for... Well, a watch, he spent £150,000 on a watch, so it's true, it is true. The watch is only worth £4.99, but all those 20p's he put in that machine. Perhaps he had a date that night and had a quick getaway.
There's more laughter from the other team. That's fantastic.
You know what, can I just give you a clue? Gabby just said...
Don't tell him.
David's trying to pull over it. I think he's in. I think
Well,
the old
can you-
silver fox has done it again.
Gabby was saying that she thought the way they were going, the question might come across to our side. I said, well, actually, we know the answer anyway. It's not quite written down.
That's like Chris Tarrant thinking I'm going to win $1 million. This bloke gets it wrong, can't it?
Oh, what do you... phone box? I don't know. Phone box.
So you think that Gabby was telling the truth? Let's see if you're right. So Jonathan spoke the truth. Mike Tyson was going to spend 650 grand on a McLaren car, but changed his mind at the last minute and demanded a hat like Charlie Chaplin. Among the other things Tyson took home with him were an Aston Martin, a diamond ring, a sculpture of himself, and 100 Versace suits. When he got home, his wife said, "What about the milk?" When he was in London, Mike Tyson went to Madame Tussauds, where he bizarrely gave a bear hug to the wax statue of Saddam Hussein, which toppled to the ground when he let go. At least it stayed on its feet longer than Julius Francis. David's team, it's the finest buck-toothed, injury-raddled striker in the world for you, Ronaldo, scoring here for Inter against Schalke 04.
Lovely shield and turn by Ronaldo. This is Djokovic, and Ronaldo takes over and he's in the clear. Lovely goal by Ronaldo.
Now, Ronaldo recently became a father for the first time, and imaginatively, he named his son Ronald Ronaldo. But who was he named after? Gary's team.
Ronaldo named his son after Big Ron Atkinson.
Gary?
Go no further, that's enough for us.
That could happen.
Very likely. Ronaldo named his son after Ronald McDonald.
Ronaldo named his son after Ronald Biggs.
So, did Ronaldo name his son after Ron Atkinson, Ronald McDonald, or Ronnie Biggs? David's team.
You know, it doesn't really matter, because whichever one he named him after, he is a complete and utter prick, isn't he? Stop touching yourself up, then, guy. Children watch you on your dodgy crisp adverts. There you are, rubbing your nipples like some foul, lecherous old pervert. Is that someone else's hands coming underneath your arm? You've got a gay friend behind you.
Gary's the sort of person who at teenage parties used to do this business, isn't it?
What do you mean teenage parties? I saw him doing it in the green room last week. One thing that does strike me as being quite sad is so many Brazilians would think of Ronaldo and known only by the one name. And that's a terrible thing, and we take for granted the fact that we have two names. And you know, there may well be some people watching who even have three names. And he's Van Houten, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Some people, Jean-Claude Van Damme, have four names. So I'm asking you if you have a spare name. Set it up and we'll send it to Brazil. And we'll give some Brazilian child a chance of a better future. Together, you and I, we can give those kids a surname. I will defer to you, our silver-haired and slightly balding captain, I think.
I was looking at Gary then, sorry. When he said balding, I looked back. It was just a silver-haired bit.
Come on, answer.
Biggs.
So, you thought it was Rory. Let's see if you're correct. Yes. Ronaldo's son was indeed named after Ronald McDonald, because apparently both of his parents like to eat at McDonald's a lot.
Let's have some sense here for a minute. If you were a McDonald's fan, you'd name your kid after Hamburglar, who's a much cooler character. Wouldn't you?
Now, when the baby was born, the nurses said he was just like his dad, and to prove it, the kid gnawed through its own umbilical cord. And so, at the end of that round, David's team have 3 points and Gary's team have 3 points. Calm down, calm down. It's time now for our What's Going On round. David's team, it's Steffi Graf's brand new heavy, Andre Agassi for you.
Oh, well, that's a pretty unusual interruption. Agassi taking cover, everyone amused, including Steffi Graf. But not, it would appear, Pete Sampras. And Agassi tidies things up.
So, David's team, what was that all about?
Yeah, I think I know. What's happened is Steffi has sneezed. And Andre has borrowed her ladylike tissue to mop up the...
That wasn't a tissue, that was Tim Henman's white flag, I think.
Was Anna Kournikova on next and Rory just couldn't wait?
Actually, it was Betty Stover. He doesn't care.
But you were telling me that a lesbian approached you recently with view to a date. Tell the ladies and gentlemen what happened so they can decide for themselves whether you were the innocent victim or whether you were giving the old lesbo the eye.
No, one of my friends thought that she was going for my boyfriend, but she said, I'm not actually, it's her that I want.
She was after you?
Yeah.
And will you please,
where was
if not for my sake, for the sake of Jenson Button watching at home, please tell us that for a second you considered the possibility. Just give young Jenson something to grow into.
She wasn't really my type.
She wasn't?
No.
If she had been your type, then, go on.
I tell you, he's after you.
Filthy you are.
He's sniffing around you like a butcher's dog. Is it a bird, just a bird or a parrot doing its whoopsie on...
I need to know which sort of bird.
Hummingbird, tiny hummingbird, carrying a very heavy load after a long hibernating journey. Carrying as much poo as its own body weight. Finally shedding its load on Agassi's bald spot and soaring off into the stratosphere. Like Icarus going oh too close to the sun before singeing his tiny hummingbird wings and landing as a delicacy before an Indian potentate.
No.
You know, I earned somewhat money I mentioned tonight.
Seagull.
Correct, well done!
Gabby pulled it out of the bag.
Yes, the answer is that the game had been interrupted by a defecating seagull. The clip you saw was from the epic Australian semi in which Agassi defeated Pete Sampras. Agassi remained calm between games, sipping his barley water, but Sampras seemed agitated, slurping PG tips and trying to move a piano. Andre Agassi admits that for a while he became obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts and Chicken McNuggets, which was a terrible worry to their father, Ronaldo. Joe, Rory and Charlie Cheat. It's football for you.
There's a few things like with a lot of goals going, but obviously we don't want the cameras there while we're talking, discussing. So if we can ask the cameras to leave, please.
So, Gary's team, what was going on there?
Something to do with women managing a football team, isn't it?
Are you sure they were women? Can we see that again? They're not women.
Yes, Gary, they're women.
That's Kevin Keegan and Terry McDermott. Unless they're Rory's sisters.
Two women managing a football... The first time two women have managed a football team since Glenn Hoddle and Eileen Drury.
There were two tea ladies, weren't there?
There were two tea ladies, yeah.
Given charge of the side.
Yeah.
Because they had a whinge about it. Said they could do it better.
I'll give you 3 points for that, yeah.
Hang on. We had to name the seagull.
No, you had to name the bird. I didn't tell you to name the seagull. Now, that would have been unfair, wouldn't it? That was a Manchester Cup tie featuring Stella Quinn and Julia Roberts, the tea ladies with non-league Droylsden. The normal manager refused to have anything to do with the Manchester Cup after he'd got the club disqualified the previous season by fielding an ineligible player. So the tea ladies took over for the match against Abbey Hay. Man United's tea lady has just been awarded a medal for 42 years' service, during which time she says she's seen a lot of changes. Exotic foreign biscuits like Garibaldi's and Bourbon creams are starting to push out the journeyman English biscuits. And at the end of that round, David's team have 6 points and Gary's team have 6 points. It's time once more for our regulars to grapple with the stars by playing Feel the Sportsman. David and Jonathan, you're first this week.
Do you mind doing this by yourself?
May I say, Gabby, that I also find you very attractive in the most superficial of ways.
OK, blindfolds on. Can we have our first mystery guest, please? You can start your mauling now.
What are you doing? You've been all het up by Gabby, haven't you? Get off
me. Things have got so desperate, Lineker's shot the mystery guest.
Get down here. Hey! Oh, Nick, he's not standing back.
Is it Ruud van Nistelrooy?
I think it must be Jenson Button, 'cause it's way past his bedtime. Look, his mum's put gloves on to stop him tampering with himself. Stay to bed and leave those mags alone, you dirty little bugger. We've got a head up there somewhere, Nick. What's this? Is that another...
What's that?
Is it Pam Shiver? It's got to be a boxer, isn't it? It's a boxer?
Brilliant.
Is it? Oh, hang on. Is it a bloke who, Lennox Lewis just knocked out that guy in round 2? Is it Mike something, the guy who Lennox Lewis just knocked out?
Right, he's going to fly over from America.
Is it the bloke mentioned earlier in the programme? That's normally could be a clue, couldn't it?
Oh, what, the guy who Tyson knocked out?
Tyson, sort of...
Julius Francis?
Correct for 3 points. Just like to say thank you to Julius, by the way, for being such a good sport, and let's hope he gets his British heavyweight title back. Rory and Sir Cheat-a-Lot, could you move to your places, please?
I'm not playing.
Come on.
Come on.
Do you know I missed it out there?
Oh, did you?
Gabby, I too find you very attractive in a superficial way. I used to watch you do gymnastics, you know.
No, you didn't.
I did. You sprained your wrist, didn't you? Oh, no, it was me, sorry.
The master!
OK, blindfolds on. And can we have our second mystery guest, please? OK, your 90 seconds start now.
Rory, is that you?
Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's a cake. What's the name of that famous sporting cake? Oh, that's nice, actually. I've got team cake here, Gal.
I'm all right, mate. You go on.
A tray of goodies.
Is it?
Hello. Oh. I know this.
It's Terry McDermott and Kevin Keegan, isn't it?
It's Stella Quinn and
Julia Roberts.
Correct. Well done. At the end of that round, David's team have 9 points and Gary's team have 9. We head for the finishing post by playing the name game. Now the leaders go first, which means that usually the leaders would go first, obviously, but we hate the alphabet. So instead, Gary's team are going to start. Pass it along to Rory, please. 90 seconds, starting now. seen that before.
Whistleblower, he's grassed up his mate in the England team.
Chris Lewis.
Yeah, well done. He's the just recently sacked, very topical, this Norwegian manager of Wimbledon.
Egil Olsen.
Very good.
Andrew McLardy.
Yeah. First name is a short word that we call Jonathan.
Twat.
Dickhead.
Shorter
John.
Dick.
Dick, yeah, that Dick, very good. Second, first syllable of the second name is the part of a body. Think of Gabby. Think what you said about Gabby earlier on. You'd love to eat your dinner off her...
Arse.
Very close.
Bum.
Very close. But, yeah. Second syllable is... it's the American for swearing. You know when they swear in America, they say...
Damn.
Yeah, but what's it called?
Bollocks.
It's not cursing. It's...
Cussing.
Dick.
Cuss.
Dick.
Dick cuss arse.
Dick. Dick butt cuss.
Dick butt cuss.
Andrew McLardy.
I seem to have made it quite hard this week.
Oh, I know. Scored 3 goals in the 1966 World Cup final.
Hurst.
Jeff Hurst, that's close enough for me.
Not for me.
No,
OK, so 4 will win it for you. I don't think you'll do it, personally. Your 90 seconds starts now.
Tennis player, she goes out with Andre Agassi, got a big nose,
McGrath,
okay.
yeah.
Second one, second name would be how you would say the number before 2.
1.
Yep, okay, and the first name, very common. Yeah, one, you got it.
Fine.
And the first name, very common Australian name, very common name.
Bruce.
Now, if you worked in a fairground or something, yeah, there you go. Okay,
Shane Warne.
this one, Bradford City assistant manager, your father. Come on!
Terry.
I've not asked my mum yet.
All right.
Terry.
All right, okay. This
You
one.
heard it here first.
This was a Russian gymnast. We felt up last year, but it was on the shows. It was all okay. Olga Korbut, there you go. All right. Oh man, this one, second name. I hosted the Comedy Awards one year, and Julian Clary came out and made a joke about people who do this kind of thing.
Fisting.
Second name. If you're Italian and you say it is not coldo, but it is very
Hot.
Otto.
Otto Fisting.
All right. Second name. All right. Did we do it? Only just. That was a hard one.
So, Gary's team have 12 points, but this week's winners are David's team with 14. So, our thanks to David, Jonathan and Gabby, Joe, Rory and Cheaty Bang Bang.